So let me say this. I hope everybody is safe from the hurricane. I definitely want to talk about this story here about a girl that disappeared. And the fool who we believe that caused this baby girl to disappear is a deranged idiot pedophile. But before we get into the details, let me give you guys a disclaimer. Now, I'll just give you the details and give you my thoughts. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And I'm getting this story from people.com, so thank you for the article. And I'm going to tell y'all, this is every father's worst nightmare, especially if you got girls like I do. And I'm thankful my daughter is almost grown. I'm going to always look out for my daughter no matter what, to the last breath of my body. But this is every father's worst nightmare. A 13-year-old Michigan girl vanished after getting off the bus in January, and now authorities arrested a man they alleged raped her and killed her after she became pregnant. On Thursday, September 26th, Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy announced that Jarvis Butts, this pedophile punk bitch that y'all just saw on my screen, that I wish somehow some animal would just do some horrible things to his face. Allegedly 41 years old, of Highland Park, was arrested in connection with the death and disappearance of Naziah Harris, the AP, WMYD, and Fox Detroit report. And they quote, "Today we're charging Jarvis with 1 count of first-degree premeditated murder, 1 count of criminal sexual conduct in the second degree, and 1 count of child sexual abusive material," Worthy said at a press conference aired by Fox Detroit, Fox 2 Detroit, and viewed by People. "We are also charging Jarvis," I'm going to just call him Jarvis, and I hate that name, Jarvis, by the way, "charging with more counts of criminal sex conduct on 2 more girls, yes, girls, in 2 other separate cases." So a serial child rapist pedophile. Jarvis targeted and befriended women to have sexual relationships with their young daughters. Hashtag, when you date thugs, you date death, ladies. So again, you see how this continues to keep falling back on the mothers, and you are looking out for your own happiness when you need to be looking out for your own daughters, and stop being so freaking selfish. When you become a parent, your personal wants and desires should be put to the wayside until you raise your children to become grown and independent. Which clearly, this man took advantage of these women knowing that they don't do that. Said another fool not checking on the background before saying, "Come on in and sit down." Thank you. How long have I been talking about these background checks? And stop dating while you got young underage kids. Let me repeat this again. This man befriended women to have sexual relationships with their young daughters. So he wanted their young daughters, and he was willing to go through mama's sex to get to the daughter's sex. I was going to say that a hell of a lot more vulgar than that, but I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I caught myself. He would have relationships with their mothers, plural, but his true desire was to have sex with their young daughters. That's what the evidence will show. He was a classic and expert groomer and pedophile. It's incredibly sad and incredibly unspeakable, and we want to bring justice to her and her family. Now, Naziah was last seen on January the 9th, about a quarter mile from her home, according to a bulletin from the Detroit Police Department. Her grandmother reported her missing that day when she failed to return home from school. The young girl's remains had not been found. Let me say that again. have not been found. I want y'all to hear these stories and understand how long has DJ Just Jay been talking about this exact thing. And people still every year, year after year, month after month, continue to just ignore like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Trying to save your children, trying to save your lives, and get you to recognize some signs that you could have seen if you just gave a damn. This baby's remains have not been found. The evidence shows overwhelmingly in this case that she is deceased. Text messages show that Naziah met up with Jarvis on the day she disappeared, Worthy claimed. People he knew well also saw the two together in several different locations. We have evidence that at 9:30 p.m. on that day that Jarvis checked into a motel and Naziah was never seen or heard from again. Speaking about a selfie Naziah took shortly before she vanished, Worthy said she was smiling and waving and saying hello, but little did she know that she was really saying goodbye. Worthy later added, "You look at that face and you do not see the horrors that she had gone through in her short life, the exploitation, the molestations, the sexual abuse, and the pregnancy that she was concealing." Jarvis has children with Naziah's aunt. I'm honestly going to just say that these mothers, these women are disgusting. Sacrifice their kids for this nigger. Fucking pedophile. He light skinned. He's cute. He got the good hair, y'all. I had a wonderful talk with my daughter last night. She's going through some things and was just sharing and pouring her heart out to me. We had a great conversation. And it just let me know, I'm like, you know what? I did a great job with my daughter. I did a really, really good job with her. Just always being a dad, always being available, and always being an open door to talk with my baby about anything and everything. Jarvis has children with this murdered underage child's auntie. So if I understand this correctly, then that means if he got to her, according to what I read, he only got to her through the mother, which means he had to have been probably dating the mother allegedly. I don't know that for a fact, but that's the way that they worded it on people.com. That he got to the kids through the mothers, so I'm assuming he got to this girl through her mother, and then he had kids by this girl's aunt, which is the mother's sister. Jarvis allegedly began sending sexually explicit text messages to Naziah starting in September 2022, it says. She sent sexually explicit photos of herself in return. In November 2023, the evidence shows that Jarvis knows that she is pregnant, the release alleged. His phone records show that he searched online about abortions, abortion pills, and drinking red antifreeze. Jarvis is being held in Wayne County Jail on a $250,000 bond. He shouldn't even have a fucking bond. Where he has been held since April on other charges, according to online jail records. It's unclear whether he has retained an attorney who can speak on his behalf. If you know somebody that's been sexually assaulted, please call the National Sexual Abuse Hotline, 800-656-HOPE or 4673, or go to RAINN.org. Sorry if y'all don't like the language, but that's some bullshit. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Please make this story go viral, and please hit that thumbs up. Share this in your favorite true crime groups. Share these videos and make them go viral. A lot of people don't even know this story even existed. But let's take a look at the news videos.
An already horrific story gets worse. A man is charged with murder and sex crimes after investigators say he killed a 13-year-old girl to hide the fact that he had gotten her pregnant. The body of 13-year-old Naziah Harris, though, has never been found.
That's despite a lot of searching since her disappearance in January. Today, disturbing new details came to light as 41-year-old Jarvis Butts appeared in court to face several charges, and not just linked to Naziah. Sean Lay is live with these new revelations. Sean, it is difficult to even say out loud what this man is accused of doing.
I'm glad you said that, Kimberly. Absolutely. Stomach turning every fact that we're revealing and digging on this story. Absolutely. We're talking about motive here. We're talking about a guy, 41-year-old Jarvis Butts, just inside 36th District Court. Prosecutors laying out motive here. That at age 13, Naziah Harris, he got her pregnant. He was reporting to prison. He was turning himself in the very day the Naziah went missing. Prosecutors say he could not allow her to have his baby while he was in prison. It would reveal years upon years of sexual abuse. Here's the latest.
Mr. Butts is a serial child rapist and murderer. The evidence will show that Jarvis Butts has been sexually assaulting Naziah Harris since at least the fall of 2022, and that Naziah Harris was pregnant.
This year is the first time we are seeing 41-year-old Jarvis Butts in court, accused of the sexual assault and murder of 13-year-old Naziah Harris. And we learned new information from prosecutors today. Naziah went missing January 9th. On the very same day, Butts was due to turn himself in to serve a year sentence for carrying a concealed weapon. Listen closely to Assistant County Prosecutor Tina Ripley saying Butts had a Naziah Harris problem he had to handle before reporting to prison.
He turned himself in on January 9th of 2024 to serve a year-long sentence for CCW. This date ultimately got moved to February 7th of 2024, allowing him the opportunity and time to take care of his Naziah Harris problem.
Cover up a pregnancy, you hear about a pregnancy, and now you want to make sure that the pregnancy is gone and Naziah disappears.
Tiffany Jennings is Naziah's aunt. She has never spoken out before until now. Who's ultimately responsible for protecting Naziah from this guy?
Oh, what a loaded question, right, Sean? In my personal opinion, with no affiliation, there are multiple parties involved, as many have already stated. And I just have to hold on to hope that the entire truth will come to light. This is the beginning of the truth, and we're very grateful for this part, but the entire story will come out.
I wonder which aunt he got pregnant. I'm sure it couldn't have been that one.
As police outlined what they believe happened to Naziah, she joins us with the disturbing allegations and why families say this investigation needs to continue.
You look at that face, and you do not see the horrors that she had gone through in her
You notice how they won't blame the mother.
short life.
This photo of a smiling, seemingly happy Naziah Harris is believed to be the last one ever taken.
She is smiling and waving and saying hello. But little did she know that she was really saying goodbye.
Hours after it was taken on January 9th, the 13-year-old got off her school bus in Detroit and vanished. Now, 9 months later, the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office is charging this man, 41-year-old Jarvis Butts, with murdering and sexually abusing her.
We did everything we could. They called the police on us.
Nazia's great aunt and her cousin tell me family knew about the abuse since 2022. The young girl lived with her grandmother. They say they called Child Protective Services.
So she lived with her grandmother. So where's her mother at? What? And they knew about the abuse since when?
We did everything we could. They called the police on us.
Nazia's great aunt and her cousin tell me family knew about the abuse since 2022.
Called the police on us.
Nazia's great aunt and her cousin tell me family knew about the abuse since 2020. And her cousin tell me family knew about the abuse since 2022. And her cousin tell me family knew about the abuse since 2022. And her cousin tell me family knew about the abuse since 2022. And her cousin tell me family knew about the abuse since 2022.
Whoever said that in the chat and y'all said that you're blaming the family circle, now I 100% agree with you. It's all of it. It's all of their fault. All women. Y'all notice ain't no men around except this horny ass pedophile boyfriend getting aunties and mamas pregnant. So this little girl lived with the grandmother then. But got the girl's aunt pregnant and had kids by her. Boy.
The young girl lived with her grandmother. They say they called Child Protective Services multiple times and nothing was done.
And they swept it up under the rug. Well, I don't get in my kids' business. We're going to handle it. I'm saying you can't handle it. The proper authorities need to handle it. She did nothing.
According to Detroit police, Butts had access to Nazia because he and Nazia's aunt had children together.
Mr. Butts targeted and befriended women who had to have sexual relationships with their young daughters.
The prosecutor's office says there is a flood of evidence against Butts, including sexual photos between him and Nazia, people seeing them together the afternoon that she disappeared, texts showing that they planned to meet up, and texts of Nazia telling Butts that she was pregnant. Then search history from Butts looking for abortion methods.
How do a 13-year-old girl walk around your house pregnant and you don't know it?
Not only is Butts being charged with Nazia's murder, he is in custody right now on a different case, and he is also being charged with more counts of criminal sex.
How does he even have that much access to this girl? And nobody noticed nothing? They ignored it.
Conduct regarding two other girls under the age of 13 when they were allegedly abused. 7 News Detroit doesn't typically show mugshots, but we're showing this one in case there are any other victims out there. Nazia's body has never been found. She should have turned 14 earlier this month.
For that to only be one person being charged is insulting. It's multiple people involved.
I agree. More people should have been arrested and still should be. This should be an ongoing investigation. How often did they lead a girl with him? They led her to the slaughter. I agree, yes.
It's not enough. It could have been prevented years ago.
Butts is scheduled to be arraigned on Friday. We'll keep you updated through
13-year-old Nazia. They reported the concerns to Children's Protective Services.
If I had to guess, 7 to 10 times.
Okay. Over the course of how long?
Over the course of the last 8 months to a year.
But Nazia and her 16-year-old brother remained in the home under adoptive care of their grandma, who spoke out at a press conference this week.
No, so that's the grandma? And she got her stupid ass up there and did a press conference. I want y'all to notice y'all have still seen no fathers. Shout out to the Fatherless America, by the way. Shout out to the Fatherless America movie, by the way. Damn. Not a single man not a single father or grandfather in sight.
adoptive care of their grandma, who spoke out at a press conference this week. Before she went missing on January 9th, Trish tells me she knew Neziah would be the next missing child out of Detroit.
Do you think that there was foul play in her disappearance?
I think there's something going on. I mean, so many different scenarios because there's so much dysfunction from multiple members in the family.
For the first time this week, we heard Detroit's Police Chief James White say the word suspects in this case. He said suspects are being talked to and there is more to come. Multiple searches have turned up no Neziah and no evidence.
This child has not reached out to anybody. She has not logged onto any social media app. She has not reached out to friends, family, no one. She just basically just disappeared.
If you have any information that could help investigators, call Detroit Police right away.
Was the daughter of.
In addition to allegedly sexually assaulting Harris and impregnating her, investigators say he also sexually molested his own daughter. The alleged molestation began when she was under the age of 10. They further allege he sexually assaulted another girl who was under the age of 10. Molestation began when she was under the. They alleged his own daughter. Investigators say he also sexually molested his own daughter. Investigators say he also sexually molested his own daughter. Investigators say he also sexually molested his own daughter and impregnating her. Investigators say he also sexually molested his own daughter.
This man was just running through anything and everything, including his own daughter.
The alleged molestation began when she was under the age of 10. They further allege he sexually assaulted another girl who was
Shouldn't that get you the death penalty? I'm just curious.
Under the age of 5 at the time.
She was 4 years old at the time, and she was the daughter of one of Mr. Butt's girlfriends at the time, and we believe her to have contracted chlamydia.
It's disgusting. It's despicable. It's worse than what I thought it was. I've been trying to bring attention to him since 2022, and I did not realize it was this bad.
Bond was remanded for 41-year-old Butts. He's currently incarcerated on an unrelated weapons charge. The sexual assault charges involving minors date back to 2012. Investigators say he started molesting Neziah Harris in 2022.
Unbelievable. I just want this case to move forward. Neziah receives the justice that she deserves. And any other victims who have been victimized by this maniac.
Authorities believe there are likely more children who were victimized by Butts. Meanwhile, Harris's body was never found.
I would encourage any other victims who have been victimized by this man, please speak up. Don't be afraid. Now is your time.
In Detroit, Camila Mary, Fox 2 News.
Man, and my brother in the chat is saying that this is very common in Detroit. Boy. I don't even know what to say about that. That's scary. Look, as a father, I'm just a concerned father. I'm a father of 2 little girls. Well, one not so little anymore. She's almost grown. But as a father, I'm very concerned, very disturbed, and I hope that this man gets... If they could give him the death penalty, I think he deserves it. Neziah, Princess, R.I.P. I don't even know what to say. All of these kids were failed by all of these women, all family members. And this man ran through anybody and everybody. I hope they give him the death penalty. Y'all leave a comment in the comment section before I get flagged off of YouTube for saying something completely out of line. So let me get off of this. Leave a comment, please. Thank you.